Welcome to Plot Twist, your place for quick summaries of movies with jaw-dropping twists. Let's dive in. The movie starts with a strong and problematic person, and you feel that he has no emotions. He is holding a large knife in his hand and sharpening it to be prepared. He then takes a step out of the warehouse where he was sitting. We learn that this person's name is Sakata. After a while, Sakata arrives at a palace-like place filled with guards, and we discover that this place belongs to his mafia gang, known as the Yakuza Gang. At the same time, the gang leader is speaking to one of his men and receives news about a problem at work. The leader approaches his assistant, puts a knife to his face, and orders him to fix the issue. The assistant is injured with the knife, but the leader calmly sits down to finish his tea. Suddenly, while drinking tea, the leader notices drops of blood falling into his cup from the ceiling. When he looks up, he finds all his guards dead. Realizing something disastrous is happening, he panics. Amid this chaos, finishing off the guards outside, the leader tries to escape but finds all the exits blocked. He decides to hide, but when his bodyguard encounters Sakata, he tries to fight him. However, Sakata cuts off the bodyguard's hand and continues on his way. Sakata eventually reaches the room where the leader is hiding and kills him with ease. After completing his mission, he goes to his colleague, Fujita. Fujita asks if Sakata has decided to retire, but Sakata simply greets him and leaves. When Sakata returns home, his daughter Ryo sees him and hugs him. He is happy to be reunited with his family. Before taking a shower, he tells his wife that he plans to look for a new job the next day. His wife is overjoyed and suggests celebrating. While in his room, Sakata hears Ryo screaming. He rushes out and finds several people wearing terrifying masks. Their leader remarks how strange it is that a killer like him has a beautiful family. The masked men reveal that they are the ones who will rule the country in the near future. Sakata becomes furious when one of them bothers his daughter. He tries to fight back, but one of the guards threatens to bother his wife, so he kept calm and let the guards proceed to beat Sakata. Ryo tries to defend her father, but her mother takes her away, begging the attackers to spare Sakata. However, one of the attackers kills her. Shocked and devastated, Sakata tries to flee with his daughter, but the leader kills her immediately. The leader then tells Sakata about a legend in Shinjo that every 50 years, a demon possesses someone, and this time, the demon is him. They beat him mercilessly. The next day, news spreads that Sakata killed his wife and daughter before committing suicide. However, 12 years later, it is revealed that Sakata did not die but was paralyzed and imprisoned. On the day of his release, Fujita comes to pick him up. Meanwhile, a new character is introduced, Mayor Sono, who is giving a press interview. He promises to make the country the strongest in Japan, especially with the completion of the Mahiruya complex in 6 months. During the interview, a journalist named Kamen questions him about the mysterious crimes and murders occurring in the country. Sono dismisses them as baseless rumors. The story then shifts back to Sakata. Fujita takes him to a small apartment and asks him to wait there until he can find a better place for him. Fujita instructs his assistant to take care of Sakata, but Sakata remains indifferent and emotionless. After Fujita leaves, the assistant begins to care for Sakata, cleaning him and feeding him. One night, while they are out for a walk, they encounter a guard from the Yakuza gang, whose hand Sakata had cut off years ago. The guard attacks Sakata to take revenge. The assistant becomes frightened and runs away. Seeing no reaction from Sakata, the guard grows angrier and leaves. Meanwhile, a journalist named Yamane is investigating the mysterious crimes. He meets a former member of the Yakuza gang who was silenced for 12 years. The man reveals information about a new gang called Gumi, whose members always wear masks, making their identities unknown. Yamane begins to suspect that Mayor Sono is involved in these crimes. Suddenly, a member of the Gumi gang appears and threatens the journalist. The former Yakuza member, feeling cornered, takes out a gun and prepares to kill himself. The story then focuses on Fujita, who is reflecting on what happened to his friend Sakata. He recalls the day Sakata retired and how the Gumi gang targeted him. Despite promises made to Fujita, the gang betrayed him and killed Sakata's family. Fujita receives a call and knew what happened to Sakata, and decides to act quickly to help his friend. One of Gumi's gang knew that Sakata is in the hospital, so he decided to go there as well. Then he went to Sakata in the hospital, and the person who was the reason for destroying his family entered. He was wearing a mask, and he is the manager of the police department in the city. He was able to enter normally. Then he sat and made fun of himself and put a poisoned injection in his wound. But when Sakata saw him, he got angry. The shock was that his body, in a strange way, was able to get up after it was paralyzed. He started hitting the man and finishing him off. He left the hospital walking on his feet. At that time, Fujita arrived and was shocked by what he saw to the point that he couldn't speak. He took him with him calmly. After that, we went to a place like a factory, and it was the men who stole Sabagomi from him were collecting strange things to make drugs with. Then when they knew that Sakta was still alive, they called Fujita and asked him to finish him off immediately and bring his body here. After a while, Fujita arrived at the factory with Sakta's body and went inside to them. He was about to leave, but the shocker was that all of this was a plan made so that Sakta could enter the factory and revenge from the people who destroyed his family. He started killing anyone he saw. At that time, Fujita was supposed to leave the factory, but the guards stopped him and set him on fire when he knew that he was a traitor. But Fujita was able to save himself and kill the guard. In the middle of all this, Sakta was still finishing off anyone in his way, and finally he was able to reach the floor of the factory owner. But when he looked out the window, he found the factory owner wearing a mask and standing outside. After that, he pressed a button that blew up the entire factory, and he thought that this way he finished off Sakta. He talks to the leader to tell him that he finished his mission, but he is shocked when he finds Sakta coming out of the factory without a single scratch. So he is terrified and is about to run away, but a car comes and hits him, and we learn that Fujita is the one who did this to fix the situation. Later, he tells Sakta that he was also with them. Sakta finished off Fujita as well. After that, he takes the factory owner and continues to torture him to find out who the leader is, but the factory owner refuses to talk. Suddenly, we find his phone ringing, and we learn that the leader is talking to him. So Sakta answers the call, and the leader tells him, "By the way, your daughter is still alive, and the money we get from drugs is what we use to develop the country." Of course, Sakta is shocked by what he hears, and the shock is great because the leader is Mayor Sono. Later, he asks Sakta to leave the factory owner alone, but he kills him with ease. The next day, the news is upside down, and they say that Sakta is the reason for all of this, and that he also died in the factory explosion. In the middle of all this, Sakta's daughter Rio appears, and the one who killed her mother is freed from the gang. He is the same one who raised her and brought her up. After that, we see an officer named Taki entering his house, but he is shocked when he finds Sakta sitting in the house. We discover that Sakta saved this officer's life a long time ago, and since then, he has been helping him with any information. He starts telling him everything he knows about the Gumi gang. He tells him that there is a big company in the country that is also part of the gang. Sakta doesn't waste time and goes there. After a while, when he finishes off everyone there, he goes up to see the owner of the company. He finds an entire floor consisting of an apartment. When he enters, he finds the place full of pictures of his daughter Rio, from when she was little until she grew up. He gets even more tired when he finds the pictures of her with the owner of the company who doesn't understand them. In the pictures, Rio is already hiding behind the sofa, and she is afraid of him. Suddenly, the owner of the company in Beirut enters, silences him, and they beat her, and she surrenders and runs away immediately. After that, the two of them continue to fight, and when he hears his silence, the voice of the company owner, he is shocked and thinks that this is the same voice as the man who killed his wife. So Asab becomes angrier, but suddenly Ray comes back with her arrow weapon in her hand, and she hits him. Her father, who is shocked that his daughter is afraid of him and standing against the light, and the company owner takes advantage of the opportunity and silences him and falls out of the window. When he gets up to look at him, they are surprised. Then he takes him to an abandoned place to treat his wounds. While he is treating him, he finds a ringing mobile phone and takes the officer's hand to silence him and tells him that if you want to see your daughter again, you must come to the complex. He does not waste time and go to his stock and takes his weapon and changes his clothes and then goes to the compound. And when he arrives there in his car, all the guards get ready to finish him off. And when they open the car, they found it empty. And Sakata does this to prank them with his plan. Then he appears from behind them and finishes them all. And he hits them. And every time he goes the second level, he finds a few guards appear to him. So he finishes them until he reaches a level. And there is the man who raised his daughter, so he starts hitting him angrily and hurts his eye. And they hit him on the head, and he thinks that he is dead. Then he walks after that. He is going to go up to the next floor, but he finds an army of guards coming towards him, and he is tired. But he thinks that he has to save his daughter, and this is the reason that made him finish them all until he reaches the place where Rio is, and she is afraid of him. So he tried to think that her father suddenly finds one of the gang behind him and hits him on the head. So he gets bored immediately, and after a while he wakes up and finds himself in another place, and standing in front of him is the Mayor Sonu, who says to him, "I told you before about the legend of the devil," and he keeps telling him again while he pulls out his sword to kill Ryu. But suddenly the officer enters and finishes off all the guards who are there. And in the middle of this crowd, Sakata asks from Ryu to run away immediately. Then she remembers that he is really her father because he said the exact same sentence to her when she was little. So she gets up and runs away quickly with the officer. And while she's going down, she sees all the dead guards and that her father did all this for her sake. So she is, but the officer's afraid. And they read, let's go back to Sakata, who is the only one left of his men, Sonu, and he is the one who keeps hitting Sakata because he is very big and strong. But Sakata is able to overcome him and stab him with the knife. He throws him down the stairs, and Sono comes down and takes his mask. And we know that this person is Sono's twin brother, and his name is Jin. Jin has a burn on his face since he was little, and we go back to the flashback to the past when he met Sono and Jin, and we know that they were separated for a long time. When they met again, their father asked them to take care of each other. So Jin loves Sono very much to the point that he might kill for him. In the present, Sono is angry for his brother, so he goes to wears his mask and attacks Sakata. Whenever he tries to hit Sonu, Sonu hits him. Sakura wants to hit Sonu, so Sonu goes and cuts off his hand. But Sakata does not give up until one of them is able to hit Sonu as well and finish him off. At that time, Ryo reaches her father and is shocked by his appearance. And suddenly, the man who raised her appears, and he shoots Sakate and tries to get back to her again. But she thinks that he was the reason for her mother's death. So she takes advantage of the opportunity and hits him on the head from behind and finishes him off once and for all, after which he falls to the ground. She loves Dana and asks him not to die in her arms, but he tells her, I'm sorry I couldn't protect your mother, but I'm happy that I was able to protect you. Then he dies immediately. After that, the police come and the world is in ruins. The shock is that Jin, Sonu's brother, was still alive, and Ryo is sitting alone thinking about what to do and decides that she must escape. After a year, Jin appears, but with the name Sonu, and says that the burn on his face is because of his fight with Sakate. He acts as if he is a hero and saved the country. After that, he goes to the temple, where his brother was tormented and performs the same rituals as him, but suddenly Ryo comes and kills him with her arrow and leaves and walks away. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos.